What up, everyone? This is a really weird angle. I didn't think about what I was doing before I started. So, I'm in Nashville, chilling with my mama. It's hot out here and humid. I'm not used to the humidity. Lightweight. And I thought I would make this Ask Me Anything. What's up, Rick? What up? So, as you guys are coming in, I want to talk about what's going on with this necklace. I want to talk about um, there's an interview out right now with High Intensity Health. You guys were like, when is it coming out? It's out now on his channel with Mike Mutzel. And it's really a lot about, hey everyone, about intermittent fasting. Well, his channel is OMAD. So, of course, his audience is going to be very, very, very supportive because I'd say, what up, everyone? And I'm not in my studio, so if things get a little haywire, we can blame that I'm at my mom's. But, what was I going to say to you? Oh, you discovered me from Mike's. Awesome. That's really cool. So on Mike's channel, there were some people in the comment section who are like, oh, she's an idiot, she's dogmatic, she's... What is it? I forgot what other words they used. Oh, you're here from that interview. Oh, that's awesome. But on Mike's channel, Mike is very much about intermittent fasting and OMAD, and sometimes you guys need to see the backstory on like why we do what we do, and it was like more interesting talking to Mike off camera. It's almost like it'd be cool if you guys saw that and not just an interview, because an interview, and he was really, really tight on time. We tried to do this interview like 3 times, and the coffee drinkers got triggered, the 1 meal a day people got triggered. It's High Intensity Health, so now my people can go to him. But what's up, Greg? But a lot of people got triggered because I'm saying, and I think I answered the questions pretty diplomatically. I wish I said a little bit more. But the problem is when people say that they are like, it works for me. It's like, it doesn't matter what works for you, because we are, aw, thank you, Andrew Wilkinson. I appreciate that. I do. I think that a lot of people, everybody wants to improve their health, and they jump into these dietary trends too easily. And I think we get it wrong. If it was so easy to do these things, everybody would be like, with abs. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I just had a consultation. I was trying to explain to this woman who was 40, I think she was 45, how hard it is. She's like, oh, well, you've never had any problems. And I said, one day I'll do a video of all my issues. And no, I've had a ton of issues. And the thing is, well, I'm just looking at the comments. Well, the thing, what is it? Ask about have a sleep time, and it's called a circadian rhythm, or the circadian clock. And so it's the same for anybody, any diet when with meal timing. Well, no, it's not the same, because carnivore does, and being ketotic doesn't require that glycogen storage window. I gain anywhere between 5 to 15 pounds of water weight when I'm not on keto. And I've explained this. What other issues might I not be aware of that my body responds like that to carbs? I don't know. Really is individual. You need to talk to the person. And that's what, like when we sit here and try to act all sanctimonious behind the camera, we really need to talk to the person. And that's the thing with science. Science doesn't mean much without knowing the individual. That's why I don't like studies, because you can take 20 women, they get pissed because they are unable to be disciplined. Well, people on his channel really love his, every trend gets hyped. HCG, super hyped. Keto, super hyped. Carnivore is a little bit weird for people, so it's like mid-hyped. And eating and fasting, it's all super hyped, and what comes up comes down. I've been doing keto for 12 years, and nobody ever heard of it before. It was very rare, and people thought it was absurd. and I got offered a book publishing deal. And they said, you have to hurry now before the wave of keto is going to hit. And they timed it literally perfect. They're like, it exploded. And now even it's starting to turn into a bit of a joke. And you'll go online and people will swear by it. 5 years passed, these people are obese, they have issues, the health issues didn't go nowhere, but we're not hearing these people talk. And that's what we got to be really careful about. You gain water weight also because carbohydrates, when you eat carbohydrates, they make you hold from, it's 1.8 to 4.0 grams of water per gram of carbohydrates. So you really swell up with a lot of water on a carb diet. Carnivore diet and dysbiosis and candida will be revised. What? Reversed. Oh, hold on. Those gut issues. Well, was it update? That's not necessarily true. And there's a lot of, we use two broad strokes, like carnism, and it has to be keto carnivore. You got to keep your fats real high. Because if you don't, you risk the same problem with people who are eating carbs. Your body's looking for either ketones or glucose. So if you're not, the glycogen is in the muscle. That's where you store, the gas tank is here. And you have to refuel that gas tank with carbs. If you don't, you have to drive ketosis. If you don't, sorry, I'm getting a text. If you don't drive it, then your body's still looking for glycogen or glucose. There's not enough there, so the body will start going to gluconeogenesis. Then people have got histamine and gut issues, and they start to have sensitivities to things like bacon, anything that's an aged meat, fermented foods, including kefir. And so people say, like, oh, drink raw milk and drink kefir and eat eggs and eat bacon, and you're going to be fine on carnivore. And that's not true for everyone because you guys have different inflammatory reactions to foods now. Can you eat a shake? No shakes. That's not keto. Now, if you want to do carbs or your body's not dependent on ketones, you can drink shakes with berries. But unfortunately, Ian, no, is it Ian? No, God, the comments are coming in fast. That was Blessed and Big D. You'll never be on ketosis, and you'll hear all this conflicting stuff. And the problem is that a lot of these people are in for the moolah, and they don't actually work with people. Because if you work with people, and with the glucometers, people's blood sugar spikes. And nobody argues this on me because you don't have to. The glucometer is showing you how quickly fructose will make the blood sugar spike. Let's see, chickpeas are healthy. No, they're not. We have to rethink. That's why a lot of people do carnivore, because all plants have poison to some varying degree. What are good weight exercises? Weight exercises for those with adrenal and thyroid problems. So that's a really good question, Flaka, because like I had a consultation this morning from here. I showed you my notebook and everything, and the woman had chronic fatigue, and she was saying to me that her sister has Addison's, where like the adrenals just don't work at all. And basically, if you're having some type of energy crisis, hypoglycemia, or insulin resistance, high blood pressure, high blood sugar, chronic can't sleep well, chronic fatigue, what you need to do is you need to, like, and she's like, I work 11 hours a day. And I said, well, why don't you work out 15 to 30 minutes every day for the next 30 days? Because you can get in 15. If you're going from 0, I would say 15. But if you've been trying to work out, I'd say 30. And you would ramp down your workouts so you can get your body to, because your body's stressed out. I try to explain to people, you have fires all over the body. Your body can't deal with every fire at once. It'll send all the soldiers to put, or the firemen to put out this fire, and then this stuff over here gets left, and pretty much all the fires are connected. So you have to work at everything at once. Okay, you guys are coming in, and I'm using my phone. I should have used my computer where I could just use the mouse. So sorry, you guys. Let me see here. I suffer from bulimia. I'm on keto and I do intermittent fasting, but still can't try. What? Here, wait. Max, people who came here, let me read this whole thing. I'm on keto and I do intermittent fasting, but still I can't heal. Tried even therapy advice for, please, I'm desperate. Okay. Well, one thing, who is it? I don't know how to say your name. I don't want to botch it. If you're coming from bulimia, and it's almost like an oxymoron, like You're going to eat a high fat, high caloric diet and try to be ketotic. I think keto, and I've worked with a lot of people with anorexia and bulimia. I think that doing any type of keto protocol is really good just because a lot of those symptoms of deprivation or purging come from the brain that's not functioning properly and poor impulse control. And fat can really stabilize that whole, adrenal response. Hold on, lots of questions are coming in. Not at all plants are not all plants are poisonous. You guys like exaggerate everything. No, Ian, all plants are poisonous. Like, dude, all you have to do, Ian, you don't have to get so triggered. All you have to do is ask me to contextualize, because when you're talking, you're saying things fast. You might say things broad stroked, and I agree that saying things broad stroked with a broad stroke is not cool. Now, plants are very, very healing, and they can heal you and they can hurt you. Now, all plants are poisonous because all plants have internal pesticides to protect the plant. They all do. And other cultures and insects know when to eat that plant at what growth stage of the plant. They're called phytonutrients or anti-nutrients, and they're in all plants. They just come in varying degrees. And when you're like, you guys like to exaggerate things, I'm just like, what a foolish thing to say. Just communicate with me, and we can have a good conversation about it. Yeah, but I'm not exaggerating. So, you seem triggered, Ian. Chill out. It's a nice Sunday. There are people starving around the world. There's better things to sit and try to type stuff to me. That make your fingers hurt, child. That's a lot. Ooh, that's a lot. Blah, 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 blah. Let's run your computer. Chill, bro. Chill. You know what I mean? The point is that all plants have poison, or else they couldn't survive. They're trying to survive germination, you guys. They all do. But they have different varying levels. They have oxalates and goitrogens and nightshades and lectins and tannins, saponins, and all this kind of stuff. And he's still going off. Ian, you're funny. You must like Stephanie. You want to have a conversation with Stephanie. He's typing fast too, right? Can carnivore diet help you to boost your testosterone? Okay, so it doesn't matter if it's intermittent fasting or keto or keto carnivore or whatever it is, that you have to see what your body can handle. If you have hypoglycemia and you go from carbs straight over to keto or carnivore, or if you're doing carnivore because you have like some type of diverticulitis, colitis, ulcerative colitis, whatever you have, and you have leaky gut at the same time, and you're pounding down the egg whites, for example, that could exacerbate the symptoms. So we just have to know, like, what can your body tolerate? Once you find and you isolate, like even food, like from slaughter to your mouth, it's a while, it's weeks before, and a lot of bacteria is collecting on that food. So like, how do you prepare the food? Do you have a sensitivity to beef or to lard or to chicken? And then find out which one you can do. And then if you find out everything, and then if you get rest, and then if you get rest, if you get your stress levels down, if you can poop, like all of these things matter, then it could potentially and get good sleep and get good viable ketone production and keep your glucose moderate to low. Then yes, of course, it's going to help your testosterone production. Absolutely. Now, if you've done HRTs for years and your testes don't work, that'll be a little more difficult right there. I started keto carnivore 5 days ago to heal my eczema for eating beef, livers, steaks, ground beef, eggs. Be careful on the eggs. Be careful on the eggs. Bacon. Be careful with the bacon. Duck fat. Be careful with the duck fat. This is exactly what I'm talking about. People just go and eat all these meats because they're supposed to be carnivore, and if you've got eczema, then there could be something with the gut, there could be leaky gut, and then we got to be careful what meats we're taking as well. Don't forget, there's 80 people. Y'all, there's 80 people in the house. Don't forget to like up this stream. It helps bring people over to my page, like Ian, who's all triggered by me right now. Ian, why are you triggered? You must like me. Ian wants to argue. Ian, did you know that you were the percent of people that likes to be on the computer and make comments? You know what's so interesting, you guys? Ian, listen to this. This is really interesting. This is just for Ian. So, I was at the gym before I came here to see my mom, and there was this guy at the gym that I see all the time. But I haven't seen him for, this is for you, Ian. This is for you. And I hadn't seen the guy in like 3, 4 weeks. No, I'm lying. Maybe a month and a half. And I see him all the time. And I'm like, I'm doing leg extensions on the leg machine, and I see him, and then I look away because I look at people. I try to put my phone down. So I have a rule that I only look at my phone. I have my phone on silent. It doesn't even buzz, and then I put it away. And I've got the earbuds. So I try not to have my phone near me, and only to change like songs or something like that. And I'll get to you guys' questions, I promise. So I look over to him, and I see this like black thing, and then I look down and I look up again. I was like, is that a wheelchair? I was like, that's weird. Okay. And so I like I forget. I'm thinking again. I stand up and I see the wheelchair more, right? So I stand up. I'm going to another machine. This is for Ian. And Ian, check this out. I almost threw up when I saw him. My face got flushed. I felt nauseous really fast. This has never happened before. And I've seen some crazy stuff. And I looked at, you guys listen to this, and this is definitely for Ian. And I looked, and I tried not to react in my face, you know, because both of his legs were chopped off. This is for Ian. He was cut at the knee all the way down. And my heart, I don't know, I was like, I felt sick because I just saw him, and he's a young guy. And he had no bandages, you guys, wrapped around the knee. You just saw stitches like this and red pulsating, I just had my legs cut off, stumps. And I just thought, I'm so lucky. This is for Ian. And I thought, I'm so freaking lucky that I have my legs. Because I've had 10 surgeries on my knees, you guys. You want to see that? Just 10 surgeries. Can't see all the scars, but I got a ton of scars going all the way around the knee. And I thought small bullcrap is not worth investing time into. So Ian, that's what I propose to you. If you don't like what I'm saying, don't give yourself too much cortisol. Everybody says everything. It really doesn't matter. It only matters, Ian, what you do in your own life. And hopefully you can learn from this that there are just some things more important than being on a live stream, voicing your opinion 10,000 times, raising your cortisol level to a person you don't even know. It doesn't matter. That's my message to Ian. So I'm going to go back to the questions because this is Ask Steph Hour. All right. Here we go. Lots of questions. Okay, let's see. Eating keto for nearly 15 months. Just cannot give up fruit. What are your go-to non-keto fruits? So right now I'm doing fully carnivore. So there are non-keto. There's no such. You said it in the wording. There is no such thing as a non-keto fruit. Non-keto fruits would be avocado if you don't have a latex allergy. Olives if you don't have a sensitivity to olives, of course, a certain amount because the carb count goes up. Coconut meat to some people who've got really good GLUT4 receptor development and they can uptake that glucose and use it. Tomatoes if you don't have a nightshade issue. So to make it simple, I just cut the crap out because it's not worth it. Haters gonna hate. Ian doesn't hate. Ian's just, you know, a person who gets stressed and bothered when people say stuff that he thinks is wrong. And he has his opinion. But when you do live streams, your mind is going all over the place, especially when there's people commenting on a cell phone. Like, none of it's normal, Ian. So you might say things that could be too blanketed, but at the same time, maybe more context would have been better for me to express. You just have to ask for it, and then I can contextualize what I mean. and then you don't have to get triggered by me. My doctor still said that I have long-term keto over 6 months can harm women's hormones. Why do people think that? I don't know, you tell me. Because I'm 52 and have my menstrual cycle every 28 days. So that's a lie. And the reason why, and I just get like, I sound sort of sanctimonious right now. But you know, we all deal with stuff in life. The reason why doctors say this, what's your name? Is it Lena? Is it Lena? The reason why doctors say this is because nobody's done strict keto long enough over time the correct way, and I'll explain what I mean by that because Ian has forced me to be more contextual. They haven't studied any women over the long term to really understand what happens. It's anecdotal, which means they're guessing. And they're probably guessing on the 5% success rate of people actually being ketotic. Most people who do keto develop second and third problems just from doing it the wrong way. So I'll list some of the wrong way things that people do, which is really important to get your electrolytes in because your kidneys dump so much water with your minerals that the electrolyte, there's like a fly that just is persisting. Your electrolyte imbalance can be so severe that you can go to the hospital. So magnesium, potassium, and sodium are the big ones that people tend to lose with their electrolytes, and you lose it pretty quickly. And it doesn't matter how many people I speak to, they think that 10 pounds of water loss is fat. I'm like, why would the body give up fat that easy? And I was just trying to explain how, you know, for every 1 gram of carbohydrate, or it's carbohydrate that your body can hold on to, even up to as high as 4.0 grams of water. And so with that, you lose a lot of electrolytes, which can be detrimental to your health. I mean, the cells can't communicate, especially with the sodium-potassium imbalance. Sodium and potassium imbalance right away will make you feel sick. So that's really one thing that people fail on. Another thing is that people eat a lot of coconut oil because they heard, or MCT oil, that they heard that was a keto producing fat, which makes no sense because it's processed. It's the MCTs are extracted from the coconut oil because coconut oil is not pure MCT, medium chain triglyceride. And the issue is that it doesn't produce ketones over time. And so if you actually do weekly ketone test and test your fasted ketones, they stay pretty low if you're not using animal fats, and stop using just the MCT as a way to try to bump your ketones, which doesn't work. Another thing is that people eat too much protein. It doesn't seem like anybody really knows what it is, but people will say, oh, you can eat a lot of protein. But because I've been doing this for so long, you can go back to my horrific video catalog and see videos from, like, you know, the Stone Age of me talking about this stuff. And back then I didn't understand. When you work with enough people, you'll start to see with glucometers, because if people weren't using glucometers, I'd be like, yeah, you could eat a lot of protein, it's not gonna, you know, spike your blood sugar. But I didn't know people's blood sugar were just higher than that ketotic range in the 80s, late 80s, 90s, over 100 on a lot of protein every time. And as soon as they dropped their protein to, as they say, keto is a moderate protein, they're supposed to say, you know, if you're having 15% protein, that's not a lot of protein. Those are the guidelines to have ketone production. And then as the years, the trend of keto began to get bigger, people just threw that concept out the door and said you can't lose weight if you're eating high fat, which I'm like, it's supposed to be a high fat diet. Like, what's going on with all of this information that's all over the place? Okay, I'm missing some questions here. Okay, you're new here. I'm worried eating keto carnivore, high cortisol, and then causing problems with progesterone. And this is a great comment. High estrogen for women. Yes, finally a woman talking about this and not reading a science journal. And this causes thyroid conversion problems. Now, here's the thing, and I'm going to sound kind of rude, but I'm really trying not to, DLK. The stress is also a part of the problem. The reason why women can't, or it's not just women, it's everyone, can't do keto over time is because of the things I just said. They don't get sleep. No one's getting good sleep. And people's perception. Okay, the consultation this morning, the woman said, I said, how long does it take you to fall asleep at night? She goes, really fast. And I'm like, how long? She said, 15 to 30 minutes. And I said this. I said, can you imagine if you're running late and you have to take a ticket at the DMV, and you've got, your number is 99, but they're only on number 15. And you got to go from 15 to 99 to get up to the front desk to, do your driver's license renewal or whatever, and you're running late. That 15 to 30 minutes will literally make you age, 50,000 years. So time is subjective when it comes to understanding how keto affects women. For example, it's both. You have to get sleep. You have to go to bed extra early, and that's a really big problem with adults, to go to bed extra early. They're like, I finally get home, I want to read a book, I want to look on YouTube, I want to be on my phone, I want to check social media, and I want to watch TV. And you can't. You have to literally learn how to get rid of all of it and just have diaphragmatic breathing going on and get your body, the cortisol, down by doing a diaphragmatic breathing or meditating. And then you have to eat, especially if you have hypoglycemia and the potential for hypo or hyperthyroidism, and you have to eat throughout the day. And it's not even to feed you, it's just to make sure that your adrenals don't become overreactive. And that's what's connected to the thyroid. So it's the hypothalamus, pituitary, adrenal, and thyroid axis. And so if your body's blood sugar, right? So people have lifestyles where they don't eat, or they drink coffee, or they eat bad, or they're eating a bunch of standard American diet. Their blood sugar becomes unstable. So when you do keto, it can become more unstable, right? Because you're not going to have any glycogen storages. If you don't have enough GLUT4 receptors, you're not uptaking enough glucose. If you're insulin resistant and you're not insulin sensitive, and you have too many carbohydrates coming into your body that your body can't clear out, all of these things will block the viability of your ketone, either production or the use and uptake of those ketones. And so therefore, you're not producing enough viable ketones, okay? And then your glycogen storages are depleted, and the thyroid starts to become underreactive. The T3 downregulates, the TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone, starts to be increased, and you start to having hyperthyroid symptoms or hypothyroid symptoms. And because so many people do keto with stress and don't sleep and eat cheese and eat a lot of omega-6 nuts with a bunch of polyunsaturated fats and mycotoxins and phytonutrients in them, and that becomes nut butters and keto food porn and all this kind of stuff. And this is what makes people's thyroid, because if you have thyroid tendencies, you always had them. It's an underlying condition that you have to address when you're doing a ketogenic, any type of keto or keto carnivore protocol. And when we get to the fasting or the dry fasting or the intermittent fasting or the time restrictive feeding, what I was saying in Mike's video, I didn't say that no one can fast. What I said was you have to make sure that you have a healthy adrenals and thyroid. And so many people don't think like that. So it's like I'm taking away their favorite ice cream when I'm like, oh, fasting isn't good for you. What they're not hearing is I'm saying fasting isn't good for certain people, which tends to be the majority, because you guys are having so many adrenal issues, sex hormone issues. Even in this one chat, people are asking about testosterone production, thyroid, gut issues. And if you're having these issues and then you're just like, I'm just going to eat once a day, where's your body going to get energy from? You think you're going to burn fat? Why would it do that? So it's just going to keep the muscle and then just burn fat. So sometimes you have to deconstruct, and you have to simplify the language, because if I pulled up white studies on a chalkboard right now, you guys would be drinking that Kool-Aid all day long. You're using long words of terminology, but if you just break it down to simple terminology when it comes to the everyday person, a lot of people have issues either with their sex hormones, and men, you too, you're exposed to too many xenoestrogens, phytoestrogens, you have a lot of stress, you guys. Your guys' testosterone is dropping, your DHT, your dihydrotestosterone is rising. A lot of you guys are going prematurely bald, you have low sex drive, and it's not just a woman thing. So if you do things right, like when somebody said, oh, can I do keto carnivore and raise my testosterone? I was like, well, it's not a black black and white answer. There's so many different things that you have to consider for the individual. And then the same thing with women typically having more thyroid disease, because a lot of women are constipated, and it's a negative loop, it's a negative feedback loop, and then estrogen makes more fat cells, and estrogen gets caught up in the liver and creates issues. I went to the ER, vertigo, I think it was because I was dehydrated. Exactly. This is exactly the stuff I'm talking about. Raynaud's disorder, people having like numb fingertips and toes, high cortisol from doing keto, the wrong way, eating a bunch of protein, not enough ketone production. Nobody's telling them to do that because they become so focused on weight loss. They're not considering their electrolytes or any type of other fuel source that the body might need. Like up the stream, guys. There's 121 people in the chat and only 45 likes. Thank you, Mike, for the interview. If I talk about that for a second, about Mike, before I continue with the questions, because I think I'm getting a lot of Mike's people here today. I don't have a favorite color, because if anybody knows me, do everything by the mood. So sometimes it's a yellow, it's a red, it's muted colors, it's black, it's caps, it's no caps, it's super feminine, it's super tomboy, like it's whatever. But when I when Mike asked to interview me, I was so just grateful, because Mike's channel has some of the best interviews that I love of other people, and I learned so much from. And like pre-interview and post, we were talking, I was like, dude, how do you know all this stuff? He's like, I just studied it. And I really respect him on so many levels. We talked about the fasting, right? And lectins mimic hormones. Yes, they do. Thank you. Who is it? Craig? Yeah, that's cool, Craig. Thank you. So you can say this, Greg, to Ian, who was trying to be all pissy with me earlier about having plants having anti-nutrients in them. But Mike believes in one meal a day, and his wife is doing it and all this kind of stuff. And I just think they're the most incredible people ever. But I really don't think that you should I don't like people to go like, what are you eating for the day? And like, what are you doing? And I was like, everybody's so individual with the way that they live their lives. There's just no one way to do stuff. It's all contextual, which is why I love doing consultations. I actually really love it, because I learn a lot from people as I speak with them. And I have this keto course group, and it's carnivore and it's low carb, high fat. The amount of knowledge that is, and it's not like these private groups. It is so freaking awesome. Let's see here with what some of the things you're saying. Yes, don't sleep till late, 2:30, then crash during the day. I do OMAD at 4, then crash. Which vids should I watch of yours? This is great. Love this DLK, so I can fix all of this. Your answers really help. Thanks. Okay. DLK, thank you. Here's the thing about like this, right? You think that you could do fasting or keto or carnivore, whatever, and be like, oh, it's the best ever. I lost 30 pounds and I fixed my colitis. But really, how the person is, what caused the initial health problems, what the person did, how they live their lives, if they're connected to the circadian rhythm, if they can take a freaking dump in the toilet, even that matters. And people don't contextualize things. That's what, Ian was having like complete triggered reaction because I said all plants are poisonous. And I thought he would get what I meant. All plants have some type of anti-nutrient so the plant can survive germination. And some people react and some don't. And, eating in season is great. And all plants have, amazing health benefits. Like hemp is amazing. Hemp oil, CBD, amazing properties, really high dose, high quality. So no, I would never say like you have to be carnivore. And like people go like, are you doing raw carnivore? And I go, yeah, of course I tried it. Like I want to try all these things so I can experience it. And I'm not anti-plant. It's just that plants, if you guys have an oxalate buildup and you don't even know it, you're like, I'm tired and my joint hurts, or I always get sore after my workout, and you're blaming it on weird stuff instead of going and doing the deep dive and trying to figure out, am I having any sensitivity to any type of plant? Let me see here. I react to plants. I didn't before feel like I'm lacking micronutrients. Exactly. You can have enzymes. You know, people have a diamine oxidase deficiency. It's called DAO. It's an enzyme in your small intestine that helps to deal with the oxalates, well, not the oxalates, but the histamine response that you get from your mast cells. And so you have this histamine buildup, and histamine is normal. We're supposed to have inflammation so your body can heal itself, but when you have an overproduction of cortisol or histamine, then the body is, all the systems go haywire, and you can have the opposite effect of creating more health issues and more histamine and more, just more stress on the body. And too many fires going on, and so DAO production is so important to sort of balance that histamine just doesn't get out of control. And there are certain foods that help that, like, you know, thymus of a goat, or kidney, is another. Any type of kidney is really, really great to help DIO deficiency. There's also oxalobacter, which is a bacteria that is sometimes downregulated, and they're just doing the doctors are just, scientists, sorry, not doctors, are doing a deep dive into understanding the oxalobacter deficiency, which is the reason why so many people have so many issues with oxalates. My question is, what is it? What do I do with dealing with constipation and diarrhea on carnivore? Now, this is a really great thing because a lot of people, I'm doing a carnivore challenge on my keto course page, and there's a lot of theories going on that when you cut out the fiber and you're dealing with a lot of the bacteria and you're having issues with the, like I'm telling you guys, people don't have enough stomach acid, they have too much candida, they have parasites, they have bacterial of the large and small intestine overgrowth, and then they go and eat a bunch of meat, and then it's not fresh slaughter, it's not completely fresh, and people start to have diarrhea. So it's like nobody knows the exact answer, but the comment is typically two things. Either the bacteria has to rebalance in your small intestine on top of your large intestine, or you're having a dumping of bile from the gallbladder, if you have one. So, you know, people don't really know. But I will say this. People say that it resolves over time and you should be good to go. Now, I never had that happen to me. I only had that happen with raw meat. That happened with raw meat. I was on raw meat for about 2 months, and then I went off, and then my stool went back to normal, and then I went and did raw meat again. So potentially, if I just stayed on it the whole entire time raw, then maybe that diarrhea would have gone away. I was just tested for mast cell, waiting for the results. Oh, good. My doctor is good. That's a good test out of all the tests. I take liver, thymus pills. Great, right? That company, Ancestral Health, they're the bomb. I think we're going to link up and do some, you know, so I can get some, you know, cheap, because they're expensive, those, that desiccate, all organs. They do brain, tongue, freaking, the only thing they don't do, I think, is eyeballs. They do brain, they do tongue, they do heart, they do kidneys, they do thyroid, they do adrenals. Like, they are amazing. I love that company. I love, love, love. I didn't say that, Ian. Just chill out. Child, this is a nice Sunday. Relax. I never said that plants do all the damage. It's smoking, it's stress, it's, you know, EMF poisoning. There's a lot of things. You know, there's cadmium and lead in the water, and people have mercury fillings. Birth control pills, medication. Ian, chill. Let me see. Tingling hands, feet, keto, and pressure on the legs. There's the pressure I'm not sure about. The tingling on the fingers could be from not adapting. High cortisol, could be Raynaud's. Yeah, you gotta be careful. As I'm saying, you guys go out there and watch videos. I'm the only one on the internet that sits there and negs everything. That's what they said on, she's dogmatic about everything. I'm actually not. I'm just don't want people to injure themselves, and I want people to learn more before they go jump into these diet trends, because you're seeing in the comments section, I've got this problem from doing keto, I've got that problem from doing fasting, I've got this and that, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm not skipping, Roger. There's just so many questions that you can't watch them all, and I'm on my phone and I can't see the questions coming that fast. But I'll tell you one thing, if I miss a question and you really want me to answer it, put it in caps and write it again. Then I'll see it for sure. Why extreme bloating with what? Carbohydrates? Sometimes. Oh, it's because you probably have leaky gut. Ian, don't get triggered. I said probably. You probably have leaky gut and you're not digesting the anti-nutrients that well. So that's probably why. That's 9 times out of 10 is holes in the gap junctions of are open, the wall isn't tight in the small intestine, and your body's starting to attack itself, and you start to develop food sensitivities which make you bloat. Or candida, you should link with them. Thank you. No, I'm going to. We've already talked about it. So I'm out of town. I got to go and talk to the guy again who owns the company. It's a very small company, but most companies I don't like, they hit me up every week to be in an affiliate program. As you guys see, I'm not legit because I don't have an affiliate program. I just won't promote products that I don't trust. So that is one company, that ancestral organs, dude, like I can't. Like his company is just the only one out there that provides all those organs from head to tail, not nose to tail. Even brain, which is very, very high in vitamin D and omega-3s, it's like we need the desiccated brain as well. Is it good to take creatine? You guys, everybody knows that I'm really staunch opposer of anything that's pharmaceutical in a laboratory, because if it's not from Mother Nature, you always have to raise an eyebrow. Some meds actually work. Some people have got some kind of genetic mutations and they need something because they've got some protein deficiency, or, for the short-term healing of the body with medication. But anything beyond that in a pharmaceutical type of laboratory experiment, creatine still, I just wouldn't touch it. You can get a lot of creatine from most meat. So why wouldn't you do that? Like I ate red meat for 2 years straight and I gained so much friggin' muscle and I was so watery, I was so thick and I was so dense. And I was like, okay, I'm about 6 pounds too much of creatine going on right here. Is it good to tie a, what? I don't know what you're saying here. I'm calm. I'm not sure why you're gaslighting me. You see, because you use words like gaslighting, Ian. It's just called sense of humor. You mean I'm messing with you? I'm putting a lot of attention on you? Because you were asking for my attention by making 20,000 comments. So here I am. I love you, Ian. Let me see. How do you... Wait. Please answer, men. You have to write in caps. So I'll answer. Just write in caps. Yeah, tingling could be nerve damage, but I don't think so, Arlene, because it's when they start keto. You don't get nerve damage from starting keto. So it's most likely from unless it's an underlying condition that person didn't notice. But the wording was since I started keto. So I'm in the 99 percentile. It's not from nerve damage. And this is common, and the reason why I know this is because of working with thousands of people over the last 10 years. Don't you intermittent fast yourself at least 12 hours because you said you stop eating at 6 p.m. every day? Yeah, that type of fasting. But that's not what people are asking about. We all fast. If you're going to sleep, you're fasting. So everybody fasts every day. But the context is, and this is for you, Ian, the context is get up, don't eat, then eat 10 to 2 in the afternoon. And people who've got jobs and they've got hypoglycemia, they have adrenal fatigue, borderline Addison's, their blood sugar is like over 100 milligrams per deciliter on keto, people with polycystic ovarian syndrome, thyroid conditions, and high estrogen, low or inverted cortisol or low testosterone don't fare very well to do that, to go and not put gasoline in a high octane Bugatti and go drive your car 100 miles an hour and you guys don't have any glycogen in the muscle, the body starts to freak out. So it's not that you can't fast, it's just that if I were ever to fast, I'm gonna chill. If I was to do a 24-hour fast or 1 meal a day to give my organs and create autophagy and create a break, I would do what I'm doing right now, which is nothing. I wouldn't do it and then run around. And like the whole thing was, keto is sort of autophagy, right? The cellular cleanup. Keto is supposed to balance your insulin and your hormones and get your, especially keto carnivore, get your gut to heal. So why would I need to eat 1 meal a day when I'm already lean? Like, I don't understand. Then my adrenals don't have to be compromised at all. And I think what I was also trying to explain to Mike and to other people is I'm in my 50s. Once you hit your 50s, your body is like, I'm not young anymore, people. But people are like, yeah, but you are young. You could do this and you could do that. And I'm like, yeah, because I work tirelessly at keeping my adrenals protected. Because once your adrenals are gone, then you go through menopause, then you lose all your muscle. Well, not all of it. Not okay. Ian, this is for you. You don't lose all your muscle, not everybody. But a lot of people become atrophied, depressed, when their circadian clock is off. So for me, trying to keep my ketones viable, my glucose stable, to keep my sleep in like 4 deep to 5 REM cycles a night, and I've got good GLUT4 receptor development and strong adrenals, then if I do an OMAD, I'm gonna chill, allow myself to detox. I'm gonna keep my cortisol down. I'm not gonna allow my adrenals to give me the energy that I need, and I'm gonna allow the body to start healing once I go to bed that night. Let me see. Love my legs while I'm sitting. Oh, move your legs while you're sitting. Are you talking about good or bad? I'm missing that because you wrote it in caps. I'm be jealous for Ian. That's cute. I used to fast. Here's Ian, but I can't anymore. I wish I could again. I certainly saves money on groceries. So here's the thing, Ian. So you're saying something that I agree with. There are other people from Mike's page who would just argue with me just like that. Not Ian. Fasting, say your name even got stuck in my mouth. Fasting is so good for you. You're ridiculous. You're full of crap. Somebody even said, you're ruining it for people who could help. And I'm like, I never said that people couldn't fast. I said some people can fast. And most people, actually most, got destroyed energy balance. Let me see. I move my legs while I'm sitting. Question mark. So I have no thyroid. Okay. You can have no thyroid, and unfortunately that sucks. But you can still have no thyroid and thrive on doing a low carb or carnivore or keto. But if you have no thyroid, I personally wouldn't touch fasting. Okay, wait. You guys are going fast. We got 149 people in the house. And I really hope this stream is not glitchy because I'm using a phone and my mom's Wi-Fi. I have no idea. It's probably better than mine in LA. Is keto dangerous? Which clinical tests I need to be sure it's not dangerous? I have stomach issues and we'll try. And this is what I like, Jose. Keto is dangerous for people who are just looking to lose weight. Because anybody who wants to do a shortcut to weight loss, most likely are going to injure themselves with either electrolytes or their adrenals or thyroid. Those are the 3 things that really get screwed up. Most people won't last keto for the long time if they feel that bad. So luckily that's the answer. So there's really only like a 5% retention rate of anybody trying to reach ketosis through keto or keto carnivore. But no, otherwise it's amazing. Keto is so amazing, and you could do it for 1,000 years. I've been doing this for 12 years, not a drop of sugar, not a drop of fructose, nothing. And people are like, you could cheat. I hear this all the time. People said this to me a week ago. Hey, Stephanie, you could cheat, drink a little bit, because I don't drink anymore. You can drink, nobody would know. And I was like, no, I don't drink. It's like 4 guys on my case. I was sitting at a pool party in LA, which is not me, don't get it twisted, and they came and sat next to me, pressuring me to drink. And actually it wasn't pressure because I don't give a crap. They're like, all 4 guys. And they're like, so if I give you $20,000 right now, if you drank that, beer, you would pass it up? And I was like, of course. Like, nothing's going to get me off of what I do. When you do something and you're strict and you don't lie, then when you talk about it, you're not fake. You ain't coming off as a disingenuous person. Brandon Carter suggested this, and he is on keto. Brandon Carter suggested what? Brandon Carter, y'all, I've been doing this for 12 years, okay? If I really wanted, and Brandon's really sweet. Actually, Brandon inboxed me. But Brandon, I love you. I love you, bro. But, he makes money. I don't make money like that. I don't. You know what I'm saying? Or else my mom would have a brand new house. I stick to health of doing this the right or wrong way. That's my thing. I'll stick to it. I don't even promote keto that much, and I always tell people it could damage your body. So if I say fasting could, then I'm not sitting there protecting and being the vegan dogmatic, veganism is great or keto is great or whatever the frack that people like to just hold on to. So that's not how Brandon talks. He doesn't say this will damage you. He's like, everybody's like, oh, it's the best ever. So anybody who tells you it's the best ever, and I'm watching people in my chat say I developed this, even Ian saying like I don't do well fasting, and another person saying I don't do well on I've got diarrhea on carnivore, and another person saying the thyroid. I don't even have to tell you the truth. The chat is telling you guys the truth. That's where I get my information from. So Brandon Carter, I think he's adorable. He's very sweet. He's like, I really love what you're doing. So, I mean, I really love the guy for being so positive to me. I reposted his comment, and he sent me a video on Instagram, which is Stephanie Ketogenic, and I posted it on my stories because I thought that was so sweet. But his style of doing keto, hell no. Of course not. And that would, if I said it was okay, then I would be like everything else I've said throughout the years would be a lie. So of course I have to say it's absolute garbage. That's what I think. But I think he is absolutely, and maybe he has some things right. But I've been doing this for, you guys look at his video catalog, 2 years? He wasn't doing keto before. I used to watch Brandon Carter and the bodybuilder fitness physique stuff, and all of a sudden he started talking about keto. I was like, yo, you got to be careful with this stuff because you can hurt people. You can't just go, I did it, look at me, I could do that, look at me, I got abs, look at me. If I did that, I would be a rich bitch, trust me. I'd be like, follow my 90-day Stephanie program, it's only $500, and then follow my weight loss program, no wait, I already said that, and follow my histamine program, that's another $500. People do that. I have somebody who paid $8,000 for a course. Mine's $15 a month. So I don't promote anything. You guys know I don't have any affiliate programs. I barely run ads in my videos. Why would I sit there and take all of the trolls if I didn't actually believe in what I was saying? Okay, we got some caps here. How about fasted workouts? No. Oh yes. You could do fasted workouts if you eat first. Then this is what I said this on the interview with Mike. I completely fast, then I work out. The first thing I do, the reason why I eat in the morning, which is why people told you to eat a big breakfast before if you don't have some type of diverticulitis or Crohn's, is because it's telling the brain, right, the medulla, that hypothalamus and pituitary, hey, I know I've got an energy crisis and I've been drinking coffee for freaking 20 years and I get tired and I want to go back to sleep and hit the snooze button, but I'm not going to eat when I wake up. Or hey, body, that's the energy's out of whack, there's no homeostasis, I'm going to eat. And then that's going to tell the body, oh, she's not starving. So we don't need to slow down T3 and down-regulate it like that person worried about their thyroid. I'm not going to down-regulate my thyroid function because the brain can sense everything that comes into the bloodstream. And then therefore I don't have this overactive adrenal response, which affects the thyroid. So then I can completely fast to empty the gas tank out, then go to the gym. But even when I go to the gym, I do 2 slices of butter, so I'm not even really completely fasted. I'm just putting a little bit in that stomach to stabilize this whole hypothalamus pituitary reaction. Okay, we got Ian. Okay, Ian. Ian, I know you love me because you were all complaining before, sounded almost trollish. Deborah was not here to block you. And then over time, you sweetened up a little bit. Okay, so I bet you've lost the cravings for sugar. Yeah, actually, they're gone. So I really craved sugar before because I grew up eating Chips Ahoy cookies and Dreyer's ice cream and all stuff my mom, because I'm at my mama's house, and all the stuff that she used to buy. Okay, is flax oil still, or have you mixed it? What, flax oil? Oh, flax. I just don't trust any plants anymore. Sorry, Ian. I don't trust them, but I think if you're not doing carnivore, I think eating seasonally is great, because if you do have a toxic buildup from the anti-nutrients, then you have winter, fall to purge it out. So I'm definitely not saying that people have to go carnivore, and to be careful for like a flaxseed, but it's still an anti-nutrient, it's still a baby plant, it still could demineralize from your gut, and it's still, and then this is my anecdotal reaction, it could still have the possibility, because I haven't done enough tests with flax, to see if it's going to, downregulate your mineral uptake and potassium and uh, vitamin D and B12. So no fruit. You can have fruit. Avocado's a fruit. My sister's feeling fantastic all the time since the first day of keto, by the way. That's great, Jose. I'm stoked for her. Is keto dangerous? It can be. You asked that, Jose, or am I answering the same old question? Okay, I think I am. How do I know if I need thymus? If you have allergies, if you get bloated, I sound very California, don't it? If you have allergies, if you're so bloated, I swear. If you have allergies, I don't know. Okay, so if you have allergies, if you have eczema, if you've got itchy scalp, dandruff, bloated, freaking Hershey squirt, loose ass stool, yeah, I would be all over that thymus. Okay, Ian. Hi, Stephanie. Okay, hi, Stephanie. My question is. Oh wait, I'm confused. At Ian. Hi, Stephanie. My question is, when it comes to building muscle, would it be more advantageous to do the ketogenic diet 7 days a week? Okay, this is great. Roger, love the question. Schwarzenegger. That's a Swedish accent because I lived in Sweden forever. But it's actually German. Okay, Roger, that's a great question. Okay, let's see here. All right. Okay, if we do have build-up toxins, how long? Everybody's different to detox, Arlene, by the way. You're funny, Roger. Thanks for the last name. Okay. It's Swedish would be Schwarzenegger. Anyway, so the problem with doing, because I spoke to this guy last night, because he's like, oh, you're the keto person. He was like, so should I do cyclic ketosis? And I said, well, you'll never reach ketosis. So you're basically starving, right? Unless your fats are really high. But you're just not, you can't be ketotic. It takes months to actually get ketone production to be and uptake to be consistent. And I know this because I've seen it 1,000 times, because I'm the one that started pushing the glucometer. People were using breathalyzers 4 years ago, and people are using urine strips, and that was super subjective. But the blood glucose and ketone, especially ketone monitor, is so amazing just to see if you're making them or making too much of them. And people's ketone production is just really all over the place, inconsistent. Their glucose is bananas. And so it takes a while for your body to stop this like over adrenal reaction of gluconeogenesis to try to raise your blood sugar. So essentially, if your body's always raised on carbohydrates, then always it wants carbohydrates. And you're like, no, we're trying to do this whole keto thing. That means you got to up your fat, and it will be inconsistent. You'll see the blood sugar like this. Just use a glucometer. Blood sugar will be up like this and up and down and up and down and up and down, and all of a sudden that range becomes more homeostatic. And then you start noticing like, all right, my blood sugar's stable. I'm insulin sensitive now, because doing cyclic ketosis can make you insulin resistant by having it's a physiological insulin resistance rebound. Your blood sugar starts climbing because it doesn't know what to do, and it doesn't know how to be ketotic. So it just starts to break down proteins in the body and raise your blood sugar. And your body can be a diabetic high blood sugar without eating a drop of carbs. So that's because your body's like, I want glucose. Well, I'll just go into the body factory and I'll start chomping on my bicep, which is this is a great source of glucose right there, to eat the bicep. So if you're insulin sensitive, then you barely need any insulin to then drive the protein, which then you don't need more protein, because now the insulin works so perfectly that you need less protein to be able to get your amino acids into the muscle cells so they can grow, and then you're not storing fat. So then the muscles just grow, because when you guys are still, when your body is still looking for glucose, you'll see guys have them little ass bird legs and then swollen up top. And they'll be like, oh, it's genetic. I'm like, no, bro, your adrenals are taken from the legs. And for women, and tell me this is not true, you see women who are like super small in the waist and like nice little arms, and then they'll have the biggest, widest butt and thighs and thick, and all the body fat will be below. because the way the body goes into gluconeogenesis on women is they get those little T-Rex arms, get really skinny up top, and then sometimes you're like, sometimes the top don't match the bottom, because that's where our body takes stress and turns it into glucose. Is keto the best diet for youthful for skin? I would say keto carnivore is. That's what I think. And it's exactly what I just explained. When your body's going through gluconeogenesis to raise blood sugar unnecessarily, it's going to take protein not only from the bicep, but it's also going to take the collagen under your skin. So you guys see I'm 52. You know, this is like real light. I'm in daylight, which is the worst light for the skin. You know, when I'm inside, I might look softer on the face, but I'm 52. You guys see I'm 52. That's me at 52. And I just saw that I have two lines here. By the way, I had melasma, so I'm doing a treatment that's making my face red. So you see like a deconstructed line. So that's from my skin being like raw hamburger meat right now to take off this hyperpigmentation off my skin. But keto I really think is the best because that fat really gets down deep into the dermis layers of your skin. So you guys can see this is a skin of a woman in her 50s. You know, it's this you can't see on that, I'm standing near a wall, but anyway, you can see, and I really do believe that, and believe is anecdotal, I do believe it's because I'm not running on glucose. So every time that you guys, your body's dependent on carbs, and then you're not refueling glycogen and it goes into gluconeogenesis, your immune system and your cells and your proteins in the body are taking a hit. So if you're doing that every day, like coffee, don't eat, 1 meal a day, energy crisis, can't sleep, yeah, your electrolytes, your skin is gonna look like a rotten snakeskin shedding apple. Actually, I was trying to squirrel on my computer because my phone's sitting on my computer. Is the key to the best diet? Okay, let's see. Do you not eat any? Okay, I already read all that. Do you like to polish? What? I don't drink, so sorry. Do you think veganism will ever die? No. There's a lot of stuff that will never die. Like racism. Okay. Although racism is a subject I don't really talk about that much because it doesn't really affect my life. It does, but it's not like this. No. Veganism is going to stay. I mean, there's always going to be ethical vegans that feel that killing animals is, you know, the worst thing that a human can do because they're innocent. They're sentient beings. But to be honest, that's their business. You know what I mean? As long as they're not up in my face, I don't really care what people do. That's why I don't go to other people's channels and complain about, like, if I watch a video, I'm like, oh, I can't with this. I do not feel tempted to comment and protest what they say because the person who does that is very, very having some issues. Keto for women with menopause? Absolutely. As long as your adrenals are protected, because when you don't produce hormones out of your ovaries, then you start to be, because your fat cells can produce estradiol and raise your estrogen, and the problem is that, you know, too much estrogen makes more fat and make you depressed, and progesterone. So you have to protect your adrenals because they're going to take over, right? Those tiny little pea-shaped things that are under your ribcage in the body. I had to say in the body because people are like, they're not under your ribcage, and I'm like, in the body. They will release a little bit of progesterone and a little bit of testosterone so you can keep muscle. Not like what I have now. I won't have the muscle I have now, but I will still have pretty good muscle once I go through menopause. How do you heal your gout? Now, you know, people have this theory that like greens and oxalates is the start of why your body cannot handle uric acid and purines, that the kidneys can't break it down. And so I really feel a keto carnivore would be really, really good, or a non-oxalate diet would be really, a keto diet would be, with high fat, would be really, really good for the kidneys. Wait, make sure. Question about gout. To get your kidneys to function properly to be able to filter through the purines and the uric acid. So otherwise, I'm not sure. I've spoken to every type of doctor on the planet, and they really just don't know a lot of stuff. If you're like, how do I cure my gout? They really don't know how to. If you're like, how do I cure my heart disease? They really don't know how to. They only know drugs. They only know pharmaceuticals. That's the only thing that they know. And if I'm thinking about some of them are really dedicated to try to go down the rabbit hole and how did you develop type 2 diabetes? You know, when did your fibromyalgia symptoms start? Some will be smart enough to be like, oh, so you've been eating this food most of your life. Maybe you should cut that out before we start throwing, all of these pharmaceuticals at you. Stephanie, what do you think is the perfect mate physique? I don't know who that person is, and I don't want to botch the name trying to present a Polish name. Physique as a strong man is best. Okay, that's cool. Are you a woman saying that? Or you could be a guy, doesn't matter. No nuts, but soaked, sprouted macadamia is probably best. Yeah, I agree. See, I agree. I'm not as, okay, I had progesterone injection. Ooh, no, I wouldn't do that. So, for several months. Every week when I was pregnant with my daughter back in 2015, I feel like my hormones are still whack. Yeah. Your adrenal glands. And that's what I'm trying to say. People think that everything's like, oh, I have a pain here and a pain here, and it's not the same. It's all connected. So if you protect those adrenal glands, and I don't know if you're menopausal, I don't know if you're still menstruating woman, and a lot of detail kind of matters. So I do consultations, you guys, and I also have a keto course page. You can go to stephanieperson.com. And now I sound like a used car salesman, but this is what I do for a living. You guys know I don't have affiliate programs, not yet. I don't even monetize my channel, which I get criticized for all day long. You could be making money, Stephanie, you could be making money. So clearly, when I'm saying purchase this or do that, I'm not driven by the money. I'm just literally trying to make sure that this woman don't croak and fall over and take care of her and take care of myself. That's all I need. Monk fruit is sugar and its fructose is bad for the liver. Yeah, I mean, braces have just bacteria, that's all. Which is a toxin. Bad bacteria. Why do you not count the carbs in avocado? Because that's a great question. Avocados are fat and fiber. So the stomach and the gallbladder has to do so much work to break it down. It takes forever. So that means that the 13 grams of carbs in a Hass avocado, they go so slowly and like a slow conveyor belt. We want slow digestive tract. We don't want fast. We don't want sluggish. We just want slow and even. So if you, I gotta look at the time. What time is it? Okay, whew. I gotta go meet a friend soon. Jeez. What was I saying? Oh, about the digestion. Oh, carbs. People, she's all over the place. Oh, Lord have mercy, people. Can't you just be happy that I'm actually trying to provide free content? The one person who gets triggered because I answer different questions and, talk about stories, it's party time. No, I don't party. Unless I'm like in the jungles of like Brazil. That's a party for me. Okay, nature is a party. Horses and skateboarding, not clubs. Okay, so yeah, so that avocado, the carbs in that avocado, they enter the bloodstream way too slow. Don't pick on me on this water bottle. This is all my mother had, okay? My bags were stuffed and I couldn't put a BPA-free bottle in my bag. I barely got everything in there. Okay, but the camera lens right at eye level, shooting people from below makes everyone look... What are you talking about? I don't care. I don't care. One person, there's 151 people here, and this guy wants me to sit a different way. How does thymus help with bloating? Because it helps you produce diamine oxidase to take down the histamine, to take down the bloat, and then heal the gut wall. Would you recommend rhodiola? No. I recommend, it depends on what issue you have. Plants do have their place, but if you don't need all types of things. If you don't need nettle, if you don't need ashwagandha, if you don't need rhodiola, try to find a more simple solution before going towards those things, especially if you have a histamine issue. Please, how do you heal from bulimia? Oh, honey chow, that's a hard one. I really think that um, that's a deep question. People are going to get pissed if I try to answer this. Um, we associate everything with body image. Like this guy's like, sit a certain way so I can see you a better way. You know, not like I'm really glad she's going live, right? And I have a ton of videos live if you want to see what my whole body looks like. I wear half workout tops so people can see what I look like. I'm not sitting there with the fucking button up to my neck looking like Mr. Rogers. I want people to see what I look at, but today I'm just chilling. I wasn't even gonna go live. Did live last minute. Bulimia starts with a lot of self-acceptance, and I know this sounds really hippy-dippy, but you know, like this Ian, who ended up kind of being nice towards the end of the stream, he was really trying to poke at me with comments. You know, you shouldn't speak general, you do this and you that and you. Not like, I'm really glad that you're going live. Some things I don't necessarily find truthful, like this comment, but I appreciate, no, he poke. Now, my old streams, if you go back, they're horrendous because I would react. Normally I have a moderator that will block and delete, you know, stupid comments. And she's not here today. And so when I saw things that come in, because I'm a human being, I've got emotions, I'm sensitive, I've got to sit, and this is for the woman about bulimia, my thing is, don't F with me, because I am not a beta, okay? Come and say that crap to my face in person. Like, let's do it, let's go. Not like just pure intelligence, let's go. And with energy, right? And how you feel and how you conduct yourself. And I had to learn at my age to not react. That's my biggest weakness. And anybody who's like, oh, she blocked me, maybe it's because I'm a human being and I work so hard, and that one person got to my emotions that one day, and I let that one person get to me, and instead of just ignoring them. And so would you go on a date with me if I changed my name to Ian? You're so funny. Yeah, it's very interesting because I was at the gym and this guy starts trying to hit on me, and this is definitely still in regards to the bulimia, because doing keto or doing carnivore or doing fasting, you have to look at the reasons why you do stuff, and we get too caught up in what our eyes see. So if I'm looking at my screen and I'm reacting, I'm forgetting that my mom's in the house behind me, and I flew here to help her with a million things because she's elderly now. And so, and to be a support. And so I'll forget about that, and I'll think about this one thing, and I can take that one comment into, or, you know, somebody will say like, you can't say that you can't intermittent fast, and then I can carry that comment with me for the next 5 days, feeling insecure about what I need to do. And when you're online like this, you're very influenced off of comments. You want to please everyone. It's human nature, right? Love me, buy from me, more likes and more views, and you become a little bit stupid in that quest. So you tend to cater to people to not rock the boat. It's just a normal evolution of humanity. We don't want a bunch of people, you know, giving us the guillotine every time that we get somebody upset. And so for me at this age, to be able to, let's say, do keto for, you know, 12 years without any refeeds, is because, and to start telling the people the truth instead of coming up with lies. Oh, you know, I'm a diabetic, or, oh, you know, I'm on a special diet that's for whatever. And then the day that I just started to just like put some investment into myself and what I think, and like, when I went to Africa and I lived in an African village for two months. Well, I traveled all over, but it was for 2 months. I literally had no mirrors anywhere. So you kind of forget what you look like. And going from living in LA to living in Africa or vice versa, it literally changed who I was for that 2 months, because I didn't even have time to sit and think, you know, am I presentable enough? So I know this sounds corny, but it starts with the way you look at everything. You have to know who you are. See, my mod is here. Hey, Deborah, I did really well with my troll. I did really well without you. But, you know, who knows? There's 140 people here. And maybe Deborah can help just help with people liking up the stream and how to do it. And also that if they want to join my keto course or, you know, get a consultation because they, no, there's no person. She's like, she's my slayer of trolls. You know, we grown women, Deborah and I, you know, we're not in the millennial age, so the way we react to things is a lot different. She's like, yo, you need any help up in here? So I love Deborah. Have you ever heard of whey finished pork? No, I haven't. So you might want to tell me more about it. Does keto? Oh, thank you, BBB. Hi, was it BB8888IE for the 5 pounds? I think that's pounds, right? Thank you. Oh, you just like, thank you, Michael. I appreciate it. Does keto help make you sharper? Oh my, y'all. Stephanie had some brain fog going on, I think, for most of my life. With that 3 o'clock time, I could not focus. See, Deborah, something's going on with the notifications. That's crazy, right? My my filmer guy, my techie guy, my Greek guy, he's gonna help me. We're gonna try to contact and see if there's something going on because I'm not getting people aren't getting notifications on my page. No gallbladder, any advice? Yes, ox bile salts, eat your fat really, really slow. Take the ox bile salts, start under the recommended dose, start eating it. Don't take them for about 10 minutes into eating. Eat your food really, really slow, and always take your ox bile with fat and protein, and keep your stress down, get some sleep, and you should be fine. Maybe betaine HCl as well. Is it true that some need to build up fat tolerance slowly? Yes. Not fat tolerance, just blood sugar. Oh, you mean for the gallbladder? Oh, that's your gallbladder, honey. Missing one person? Missing one person, that's cute. Yeah, if you're getting nauseous, you need to maybe, like I just said, get the ox bile, the bovine ox bile. Tomatoes are good I'm just really not a tomato fan after all I've learned and all this, the thyroid and the freaking gut issues. Tomatoes are a nightshade, and you know, when they brought tomatoes from South America over to Italy, people got sick. So the reason why tomato sauce became what it was is because they would de-skin and de-seed the freaking tomato. And we don't do that. We like it like with the skin, especially if we're eating a salad. So I just tell people to cut it out. There are so many thyroid people here, it's ridiculous. Is it true that someone needs to build a... Okay, so no, just wanted to say I've been following you a lot of your videos, just new to keto. Okay, my wife and I think that you look like you're 35, certainly not 52, from Canada. Thank you, I appreciate it. I do. I really just take that as a compliment of a lot of hard work, even though I do have a Peter Pan syndrome. I just appreciate it, I do. Okay, how do you make your cells more sensitive to hormones like insulin and keto carnivore? A really well formulated, low carb, high fat, starch based diet that is low in starch, slow burning. If you don't have a gut problem, yeah. Histamine. Insulin sensitivity comes from a workout, you guys. It's going to be really hard to become insulin sensitive if you don't work out. And another thing is, and you've got to have good GLUT4 receptor development. Then I would also get really, really good sleep because your body follows a circadian clock of hormones released at night. And then I would lower my insulin by doing a really, really Stephanie well-formulated, how cheesy, but you know, it's true. I would do a very Stephanie well-formulated ketogenic or keto carnivore protocol that is very slow and taking it easy, and don't try to rush the results. So I think I got to get ready to go, you guys, and take a shower because I'm going to go hang soon. But I really appreciate everybody in this chat. If you guys want to subscribe, hit the notification bell. People aren't always getting it, so you got to subscribe. Can I speak sometimes? and hit the notification. Like, do you want all of the content coming? And I have a lot of, I'm filming in a new studio. That's where Mike filmed me in. Even though it kind of looks like the same backgrounds as his other videos, that's not in the same studio. But if you guys want to, you know, the people in this chat want to have more great content, it's finally coming. You guys know I've been filming from my little crap apartment shoebox thing forever with bad quality and horrible internet service, and not enough good camera equipment. I went and spent a lot of money on good camera equipment. So we're filming at the studio on my camera equipment. And my camera equipment is actually better than what's at the studio because I paid high dollar for it, because I always wanted to make really good, informative, quality videos. So, you know, forgive my old videos. Forgive me if I've said something wrong. I'm learning every hour and every day of my 52-year-old life, and I will never stop learning. And some of us get it wrong. And perhaps some of the OMAD and, you know, intermittent fasters in 10 years from now will say it worked for me, and oh, it really didn't work for me, and that's probably going to be the same for keto. Now, carnivore people, they're probably just getting relief from all the pressure of illness. So that's a win-win no matter what. I have a hard time falling asleep, but once I'm asleep, because you have inverted cortisol. There's a lot of reasons why people, their cortisol's too high. That's a wake-up hormone, like exposed. I cannot talk. Exposed to cell phones and lights and bathroom lights and kitchen and taking showers last minute and watching TV in bed and, you know, going to the gym late and eating and not eating. And, you know, if you don't, sometimes people who do an OMAD wake up in the middle of the night, which is what I'm seeing on OMAD, 1 meal a day, because their blood sugar's too low, and then all of a sudden it'll, like, nobody's talking about that. You eat 1 meal, okay, you're not ketotic, and your blood sugar starts to drop to a hypoglycemic level. Then the adrenals become stimulated and start cranking out cortisol to wake you up so you don't go into a coma. And it's just like, I think that when fasting continues for a long time, then more people will start to criticize fasting. I'm like the first, and I was the first to criticize cheese, nuts, and caffeine on keto. And they put me on Reddit. I was on Reddit, and they put up one of my videos. This is like 6-7 years ago. They put up one of my videos and literally took me from behind. Like, they criticized the HELL out of me. And all of a sudden, the criticism stopped. And now people are saying, you can't do keto over the long term. You can't do this, and you can't do that. And now Stephanie doesn't seem as extreme anymore. I gained all my weight I lost from fasting. So she's right. I started binging it. What's your name? Floriana? Thank you. See, I don't have to say anything. People are like, oh, she's arrogant. No, I'm pissed that we're lied to. There's no arrogance here. I'm very humble for my life. Trust me. But Mark Sisson, course. The guy who told you to drink alcohol and keto on the Dr. Oz show that I was on with him. Don't even get me started. I have a course. Dude, go to stephanieperson.com. Certification. Yes. In fact, I thought of a certification course before Mark even knew what the word keto was. It's just really hard. I'm just doing everything by myself, you guys. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, was it Floriana? Yeah, because Floriana is one of the people who says stuff that people don't like. Every consultation I have, people are like, fasting ruined me, fasting made me binge, fasting, you know, made me lose my hair. Stephanie, I need to do a consultation with you because there is more to it than that. Yeah, I agree. It's so hard, you guys. Like, if I just went and just constantly did videos on the newest studies and the newest this, I would sound like a smart person. I'm not trying to sound smart, you guys. That is not my thing. I'm just trying to keep it real. That's all I do. I'm so irritated that we aren't told the truth. I'm behooved by it. Thank you, Deborah. So I don't know how Mark Sisson is in person. Like, I don't know him. He could be the nicest guy in the world, but I thought he was the paleo guy, right? Now you're keto. Okay, sure. She customized his plan just for you. But you know what? He was smart though. Sold his business, I think to Heinz or something, those big companies. Don't quote me on that. He made a grip of money, so you can't, I can hate on him for that because I don't do crap just for the money. Uh, but y'all can't hate on him. He did very well for himself, so I have to give him kudos for that. You're a smart businessman. He very smart. He's smart too. He is smart. But drinking alcohol and keto, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard in my life. Okay. And there's no alcohol or no keto wine that's going to take you there because it makes you hypoglycemic. It's so weird people get so defensive over coffee and fasting. It must be Manuel. Right? Yes, I can do a consultation for you. And I think I do really, really well because sometimes you just need to talk to people heart to heart instead of being like, yes, I'm a doctor. Um, People get so triggered. Like Ian was so triggered at first and then he relaxed. I am not sanctimonious. My ass is 52. My butt then been through the ringer. Life has not been easy for stuff. The true life of stuff, how I grew up, y'all don't know. People sitting there thinking I'm on some like soapbox. Me? The skateboarder tomboy on a soapbox. Right. Uh, can you give advice on how keto help with Graves and hypothyroidism? My wife, endocrinologist, wants to remove her from or no thyroid. Keep her. Look, if you have cancer cells in the thyroid, I don't know that. So there are details I need to know. Um, does she have a goiter? Like, I don't understand why they want to remove it. So that's also important. And then just the idea of, the thyroid becomes dysregulated because the adrenals are so compromised and poor sleep and blood sugar dysregulation and poor gut. And so, oh, we got svenska. Jag älskar allt du gör för keto. Love from a fan, jävla tastisk. Tack så mycket, tusen tack. Och jag behövde den idag för att det finns så många människor som är really? Really? Does there have to be a wasp? Hold on, guys. Let me get rid of this wasp. Ugh. I hate wasps because I'm like a little bit allergic to them. I'm not afraid of bees, but this is a wasp, right? Sorry, guys. Sorry. He was like this close from me. Ja, förlåt. Jag försöker att säga tack så mycket för allting. För att det är jävla svårt att prata på internet. Förstår du vad jag menar? Så jag bodde i Göteborg för länge sedan. Och det är bra. Jag älskar att prata svenska ibland. Så tack så mycket. Tack så mycket för all of the love. I appreciate it. That's amazing. And, I appreciate it a lot. That was for that one person, not for nobody else. Let me see. I thought that was, what was, sound was you ripping a massive good information? I know. Yes, I do have keto carnivore also. I do keto carnivore. I'm actually doing a keto carnivore challenge this coming Monday. So I suggest y'all sign up at least for that on the page. And I gotta write the dang thing. I've half written it. I've got to finish writing it. And I also do low carb, high fat for those who have chronic hypoglycemia or the hair falls out and they want to transition to keto real slow. Then I've got a carb related thing too. You have to go to the website. Deborah's writing. You have to go to the website. She used to have several levels to choose from. Ian, see, my mod's here, Ian. So now when you say, so, du förstår, tack, Matthias. Du vet ju, jag behöver lära lite mer svenska. Det blir nästan 10 eller, nej mer. Jävlar. Jag tror att det är like 15 eller 16 år jag har pratat svenska. Så det blir länge sedan och jag har ingen svenskar och dansk och norsk kompisar. I've been searching for certification to help start with a career as health coach. I would be prefer. Yes, I'm gonna make one. Just give me like 10 months, right? I've got all the material written down. Trust me, Gobs. I just got to put it together. Plus, I have a book. I have to finish it. And when I do all of this stuff, my first goal is to put up a course, a certification course. 100%. I'll put it up. And I might be getting on 2 more TV shows, you guys. So trying to not that I care about the shows, about reaching more people. So if I do have a course, at least people, unfortunately like to see stuff like that. Makes me look more bona fide. What about low carb plan? Yes, of course, I do that too. I just said low carb, high fat, which is a low carb plan. I can diet, heal skin. Yes. No. Yes. It can help a little bit with skin damage. But if you got fine wrinkles, it's going to be hard. Yeah, you might get a lot of fat up in the dermis layers. Who knows if you get any more collagen production, you might be able to. Yeah, trolls, it just, since Deborah's here, it just don't work. But can we get the likes up before we go? We got 106 likes and 115 people in the chat. Can we get it up? I don't see who's liking, so don't feel uncomfortable to like because I can't see who's liking. I often don't comment or anything because people will know it's me, and I just want to remain objective and not try to influence people's live streams or anything, or pages or YouTubes. But if you guys want to like up the stream, it will help draw people to this very, very humble channel where I barely ever monetize anything, forget to do it half the time. Don't just sell anything, and only will link up with the company that I truly love, hardcore, because I'm really afraid of injuring people. And all of my sarcasm and all this comes from age and the fear of hurting people, trying to tell them what to do. The reliable glucometers that are quasi-reliable, they're not 100% reliable. This is for you, Ian. Nothing's 100% contextualized. Is Abbott, it's the parent company. It's under Abbott, which is Freestyle or Precision Extra. They're the best. And then the next one is Mojo, but that's not as accurate. People get sort of false readings, and you can only just take it with a grain of salt with these things. It can be up to 20% off in the reading to the actual number. So, thank you, everyone. I see that people are coming in and out of the chat. It is too long. Yeah. So thank you. I'm going to go live right now to my keto course page. I really should have gone there because that's what people pay for. I do many consultations also on the course. I write hours and hours to write course lessons on this page. So there's no uckery with an F in front. There's no uckery on that. Stephanie dedicates her life. Probably the most I dedicate is to my course page, which covers low carb, and it covers carnivore, and it covers keto omnivore. Well done, first class, as always. Thank you so much. And thank you, Deborah, is reminding you to subscribe to my keto course group. Just go to stephanieperson.com. You guys can go to my Instagram. It's all free, which is Stephanie Ketogenic, or my Facebook fan page, which is also free content, which is Stephanie the Business Person, as in the body business. Because y'all know I'm a bad businesswoman. The fact that I haven't told people to do weight loss programs is my my big mistake. If I was smart like Mark and all these other people, I would have done all that weight loss and fast and do all this stuff. I would be so much richer. Or not? Am I just the dum-dum or what? Why am I not producing stuff that would literally put money into my pocket? I wonder. Why would I say stuff that pisses people off? Why would I do that and make less money? I am so dumb. Okay, guys, thank you. Thank you for liking the stream. Thank you for the one donator, I forgot the name, on the donation chat super chat. Yeah, super chat. And thank you, Taximika Matthias. And thank you, everyone. And thank you, Deborah, always. And this sucks that you're not getting notifications because you used to always get them. Thanks, guys. I'm out. And look for, I will try to upload one of my studio videos tomorrow if I have enough time to do it. Okay, bye, guys. And I'm out. Bye. See, my arms can flap too. See that? Women who are like, oh, my arms are flapping. It's supposed to flap. It's not supposed to flap when you flex your muscle. That's how you know if your arms are flappy. Thank you, Manuel. I really do. And I thank you all. I thank you a lot. All the people were very positive. And thank you for all the people that came from Mike's page. Not greedy as up. Yeah, I know. I'm not. I'm just not. I just need simple things, y'all. Just simple life. And make sure this woman's all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, that'd be cool enough for me. And to be healthy, of course. Okay, number one, healthy. All right, guys. Thank you. Bye. And I'm out. Energy, energy, energy. Should I stand up and do an energy, guys, for you guys? Somebody want to see my full body, full length body? Here we go. You guys can see me. There you go. See that? There you go. This is me in the daytime. Energy, 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 energy. Energy, 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 energy. Energy, energy. And I'm out. Thanks, guys. Somebody was like, we can't see you when you're sitting in the chair. Now you can see me. See? You can't edit. Those people, if vegans wanted to be like, oh, she's got vegan, or she's got keto deterioration, then you can't hide on video. On Instagram, you could do the face tuning all day long. Here, you can't. So, thank you. Is it ABC? Thank you so much. All right, guys. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. She come to clubbing in London. I used to, you guys, I used to live in Europe. I lived there almost 16 years. Been to London many times, clubbing like crazy. Maybe, because y'all know, I don't care about clubs, because people do like the cell phone thing now. But one thing I love is to dance. Anybody who knows Stephanie, I am always dancing, supermarket, gym, walking down the street, in the bank. I am like this all the time, and it's so funny. That's the one thing that you guys don't know about me is how much I love to dance. All right, bye, guys. Energy, energy, energy. Don't watch my older videos. All right, guys. Bye, guys. Exactly, hard house and trance. I'm not really a trance person, unless it's got some like hip hop to it. And I'm out. Peace. Bye.